Hello, I'm a researcher in nutrition and metabolic health. Today, I want to share with you a truth that often goes unnoticed. Many foods marketed as healthy, flavored yogurt, granola, fruit juices, or plant-based milks actually contain hidden sugars that can overload the liver. The most worrying part is that we consume them daily without realizing we're taking in more fructose than the liver can safely process. Keep reading to learn which foods to avoid and the safer alternatives. Why do so many healthy foods silently harm the liver? When people think of healthy foods, they often picture bright, clean packaging filled with fruits, whole grains, or labels like low-fat, high-protein, and natural or heart-healthy. However, many of these products contain levels of added sugar far beyond what the liver can handle. Ironically, it's these very foods, assumed to be good for us, that end up worsening fatty liver and metabolic dysfunction without consumers even realizing it. To understand this, we need to start with a very basic concept that many still don't fully grasp: added sugar. The concept of added sugar refers to any sugar that manufacturers add to foods during processing, not the naturally occurring sugars already present in whole, unprocessed foods. Examples: milk contains natural lactose, not added sugar; strawberry-flavored yogurt with added strawberry syrup, cane sugar, or corn syrup. Added sugar: fresh fruit contains natural fructose. Not added sugar: bottled fruit juice with added HFCS, high fructose corn syrup. Added sugar: common forms of added sugar include cane sugar, sucrose; high fructose corn syrup, HFCS; glucose syrup, evaporated cane juice; honey when used to sweeten processed foods; fruit syrups added to beverages; rice syrup, barley malt syrup, dextrose, maltose, etc. What's important is that added sugar comes without fiber, whereas natural sugar from whole fruits is always paired with fiber that slows absorption. As a result, added sugar enters the bloodstream rapidly, spikes blood glucose, and significantly increases the metabolic burden on the liver. Why does sugar, especially fructose, harm the liver? Among all types of sugar, fructose is the primary culprit behind liver damage because its metabolic pathway is completely different from that of glucose. Glucose, usable by the whole body. Every cell in the body can use glucose for energy. A portion of glucose is stored as glycogen. The liver only processes part of it, so it doesn't become overloaded. Fructose, the body cannot use it, the liver absorbs the entire burden. Fructose can only be processed by the liver. No other cells can use it directly. When fructose enters the liver must convert fructose into fat, triglycerides. Some of this fat accumulates inside liver cells, fatty liver. Some is released into the bloodstream, elevated triglycerides. This contributes to insulin resistance and metabolic dysfunction. Fructose does not activate satiety hormones. Unlike glucose, fructose does not trigger leptin, the hormone that signals fullness. As a result, you can consume a lot without feeling full. The liver must keep processing more fructose. Risk of weight gain and fatty liver increases significantly. Fructose increases cravings for sweet foods. MRI research shows fructose activates the brain regions associated with appetite more strongly than glucose. After consuming fructose, food appears more appealing. This makes people more prone to craving or over-consuming sweet foods. Fructose can harm the liver in just 7 days. One study found that just 7 days on a high fructose diet resulted in increased liver fat and reduced insulin sensitivity. Strong evidence that the liver responds very quickly and very negatively to excess fructose. 8-week study. Liver improves when sugar is reduced. Another study in adolescents found that reducing added sugar intake to under 3% of total calories for 8 weeks led to significantly reduced fatty liver and improved liver function, demonstrating that simply cutting added sugar allows the liver to recover rapidly. Real-world examples: 13g, 23g of sugar hidden in healthy foods. Many people assume that only candy or soda contains high amounts of sugar. In reality, many so-called healthy foods are packed with hidden sugars. Flavored yogurt, marketed as healthy but extremely high in sugar. Some real examples: Yoplait, low-fat strawberry, 13g, added sugar chobani; low-fat mixed berries, 14g added sugar; Noosa lemon yogurt, 23g sugar in a single cup. Just one small yogurt cup can contain nearly half of the total daily sugar limit recommended by the AHA. What's concerning is that brands label these products as low-fat, high-protein, natural flavor, but they rarely highlight that the sugar content equals 2 to 3 heaping teaspoons. Granola, the healthy whole grain loaded with syrups. Granola typically contains added honey, corn syrup, rice syrup, cane sugar, dried fruits, concentrated sugars. A single serving of granola often contains 12 to 20 grams of sugar, with some brands reaching 30 grams per serving. Fruit juices, waki, natural, doesn't mean harmless. Many bottled juices come with labels like 100% juice, no added sugar, natural sugar only. The problem is, 1 glass of juice equals the sugar content of 3 to 4 whole fruits, no fiber to slow absorption. The liver must process a highly concentrated fructose load in a very short time. This is the classic case of something natural but dangerous. AHA Sugar Intake Recommendations. The American Heart Association, AHA, recommends men no more than 36 grams of added sugar per day. Men no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day. What's alarming? A yogurt cup with 23 grams, already 92% of the female daily limit. A granola bar with 18 grams, 72% of the limit. A glass of juice with 30 grams exceeds the limit instantly. A milk tea with 55 to 65 grams, 2 to 3 times the daily limit. Even people who eat healthy can exceed these limits without realizing it. Why do healthy foods often contain so much added sugar? Removing fat. Manufacturers must add sugar. Since the 1980s, the food industry has heavily promoted low-fat products. When fat is removed, foods become bland, watery, unpleasant, lacking the creamy texture that makes them enjoyable. To maintain palatability, manufacturers are forced to add sugar. Sugar creates instant flavor. Cheaply, sugar is the cheapest flavor enhancer. It boosts taste faster than natural ingredients like dairy, meat, or fruit. This increases the addictive appeal of the product. Sugar extends shelf life. Sugar is a natural preservative. Companies love it because it travels well, spoils less easily, cuts storage and distribution costs. Healthy labels target consumer psychology. Manufacturers know that consumers fear fat, prefer healthy positioning, trust labels like low-fat, high-protein, natural, so they don't need to highlight how much sugar is hidden inside. consumers believe they're eating healthily while unknowingly sending more sugar to the liver every day. Summary: why healthy foods worsen fatty liver. Added sugar levels are far higher than people expect. Fructose, the main sugar in many healthy products, is 100% processed by the liver. Excessive fructose, immediate liver fat production. Fructose doesn't trigger satiety, promotes overeating. Fructose increases cravings, harder to control intake. Studies show 7 days is enough to cause liver fat buildup, and 8 weeks of reduced sugar can reverse it. Many healthy foods contain 13 to 23 g per serving, exceeding half of the AHA daily limit. Most consumers don't read labels. They overload the liver daily without knowing it. Flavored yogurt and healthy yogurt products. Yogurt is often considered one of the healthiest foods because it contains probiotics, protein, and calcium, and is commonly used in weight loss diets. However, most yogurt products on the market no longer retain these original benefits once large amounts of sugar are added to improve taste and texture. This is why flavored yogurt has become one of the most harmful fake healthy foods for the liver. Many people choose strawberry, blueberry, mango yogurt, or low-fat varieties, thinking that less fat is healthier. But reducing fat forces manufacturers to add even more sugar to make the product palatable. For example, a cup of Yoplait low-fat strawberry contains 13 g added sugar. Chobani mixed berries has 14 g, and Noosa lemon yogurt contains 23 g in a single serving. Given the AHA recommendations, 25 g a day for women and 36 g a day for men, just 1 cup of yogurt can nearly exceed the daily limit. The danger lies in the fact that most of the sugar in flavored yogurt comes from fructose and HFCS, which accumulate liver fat more aggressively than glucose. Fructose must be processed 100% by the liver, with no option for distribution to other tissues. As a result, flavored yogurt, often viewed as nutritious, can significantly accelerate fatty liver progression when consumed daily. Zero sugar or no added sugar yogurts exist, but they tend to taste bland due to the lack of fat and sugar. This often drives consumers back to the sugary versions. Safer alternatives: plain, full-fat yogurt, no added sugar. Natural fat provides creaminess, keeps you full, and eliminates the need for added sweeteners. Add natural sweetness if needed. Allulose monk fruit, pure stevia. A small amount of honey, 1-2 g. Add natural toppings, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, high fiber, low fructose. Chia seeds, flaxseed, walnuts flavored yogurt, 13-23 g sugar cup. Exceeds AHA limits. Liver harm, high fructose, HCS, swap. Full-fat plain yogurt, plus healthy toppings. Granola and breakfast cereals. Marketed as heart-healthy, granola is advertised as rich in whole grains, nuts, and dried fruits. However, modern granola formulas are loaded with sweeteners such as honey, corn syrup, rice syrup, cane sugar, brown sugar, and fruit concentrate syrups. Many brands also add refined vegetable oils for extra crunch, turning granola into a mixture of sugar plus oil plus starch, rather than a heart-healthy grain. A typical 1/4 cup serving, 30 to 40s, contains 12-20 grams of sugar,
with some brands reaching 30 grams, equivalent to 6 teaspoons.
Because granola is often eaten with milk or yogurt, total sugar intake easily surpasses 40 grams in one meal, double the AHA limit. The biggest problem comes from dried fruits such as raisins, dried blueberries, dried apples. Dried fruit is concentrated fructose with the fiber removed, causing the liver to absorb sugar extremely quickly. This makes granola a poor choice for liver health, especially for individuals with fatty liver, insulin resistance, or abdominal obesity. Many granola brands carry labels like gluten-free, organic, or natural, but none of these claims reflect sugar content. Consumers are completely misled. Safer alternatives: homemade, sugar-free granola, rolled oats, walnuts, almonds, pumpkin seeds, small amount of coconut oil, no syrup, honey, plain, rolled oats, no sugar, high satiety, just cook with water or unsweetened milk, and add natural toppings, plain nuts and seeds, almonds, walnuts, macadamias, no added salt or sugar. Granola, 12 to 30 jar sugar, some serving, comparable to candy liver harm, dried fruit plus syrups, high fructose. Swap, homemade sugar-free granola, plain oats, whole nuts, fruit juices, bottled smoothies, pre-made blended drinks. Fruit juice is a classic example of a food that looks healthy but ranks among the most harmful for the liver. The reason is simple. Juice is concentrated fructose without the natural fiber found in whole fruit. A 250 ml glass of orange juice contains 20 to 26 grams of sugar, equivalent to the sugar from 3 to 4 whole oranges. When you eat an orange, the fiber slows down sugar absorption. But when juiced, fructose reaches the liver within minutes, forcing it to process a large sugar load in a very short time. Bottled smoothies are even more dangerous. Even when labeled no added sugar, they are still high in fructose from ingredients like apples, mango, banana, grapes, concentrated fruit juice. Many 350 ml smoothies contain 35 to 45 g of sugar, exceeding the AAH limit immediately. Industrial juices often contain HFCS, fruit syrup, cane sugar, reconstituted concentrates. This essentially turns them into a disguised form of soda. Safer alternatives: eat whole fruit instead of juicing. Fiber slows sugar absorption, prevents sharp fructose spikes to the liver. Homemade low fructose smoothies: use strawberries, raspberries, low fructose. Add greens like spinach or kale. Add protein to slow sugar absorption. Water or diluted juice. Mix 1 part juice, 4 parts water, same flavor, 70 to 80% less sugar. Juice, 20 to 26 g sugar/glass. Smoothies, 35 to 45 g sugar off the bottle. Liver. Impact: concentrated fructose, extremely fast absorption. Swap: whole fruit, homemade low-sugar smoothies. Sweetened plant-based milk, a fake healthy source of liver overload. Plant-based milks such as almond, oat, cashew, and soy are marketed as healthy, low-fat, lactose-free, good for the skin, and easy to digest. But most store-bought versions contain very high levels of added sugar, enough to harm the liver when consumed daily. The most misleading labels include sweetened, original, often assumed to be plain but typically contains sugar, light, low fat, flavored, vanilla, chocolate, caramel. Original is the biggest trap. Most original plant milks contain 7 to 12 grams of sugar per 240 ml, and some reach 15 g, similar to a mini soda can. Why do plant-based milks contain so much sugar? Natural nut milk is very bland. Without added sweeteners, most consumers wouldn't drink it. Manufacturers add sugar and flavor enhancers to balance sweetness. mask the nutty taste. Create a smoother mouthfeel. Some brands even add rice syrup, a refined fructose source linked to liver fat accumulation. Oat milk. The most concerning type, oat milk is marketed as clean, plant-based, and digestive-friendly, but it contains rapidly absorbed carbohydrates. During production, enzymes break oat starch into maltose, a high GI sugar that spikes blood glucose and burdens the liver and pancreas. Common oat milk original products contain 12 grams of sugar per cup, mostly maltose, faster absorption than regular cane sugar. This explains why many people gain belly fat and worsen fatty liver despite thinking they're drinking something healthy. When is plant-based milk actually healthy? Only when it is unsweetened. Unsweetened plant milk typically contains 30 to 40 calories, almost no sugar, and does not strain the liver. Safer alternatives: 100% unsweetened plant milk, almond milk, unsweetened, coconut milk, unsweetened, cashew milk, unsweetened, oat milk, unsweetened. Choose high-protein, low-carb versions. Homemade plant milk, nuts plus water plus a pinch of salt. No sugar, no additives, natural flavor, full control over nutrition. If sweetness is needed, monk fruit, allulose, pure stevia. Sweetened plant milks, 7 to 15 g sugar/cup. Harmful to the liver. Oat milk, high maltose, rapid blood sugar spikes. Swap: unsweetened or homemade plant-based milk. Sushi and trail mix, the healthy-looking foods that overload the liver. When people think of sushi, they immediately assume it's healthy. Fresh seafood, low oil, minimal frying. That's true, only if you're eating sashimi. Once you switch to sushi rolls, the situation changes completely. Why sushi can harm the liver? White rice. A large dose of refined carbohydrates. A small sushi piece contains 5 to 7 grams of carbs. A typical 6 to 8 piece serving adds up to 35 to 50 grams of carbs, similar to a serving of noodles or rice. Refined carbs absorb rapidly, spike blood sugar. The liver must convert the excess carbs to fat, increases liver fat accumulation. Sugar, vinegar, and sauces. Sushi rice isn't plain rice. It is mixed with vinegar plus sugar to create its signature flavor. Many restaurants use 2 to 4 tablespoons of sugar per bowl of rice. Sushi rolls also come with sauces like mayo, sweet, soy, teriyaki, unagi sauce. Many of these sauces contain corn syrup or cane sugar. Very little fish. A sushi roll is mostly rice, not fish. The omega-3 rich fish portion is small, so the health benefits are minimal. Trail mix, healthy, but actually a fructose bomb. Trail mix usually contains nuts. Healthy. Dried fruit, major problem. Chocolate chips, sugar plus fat. Dried fruit is concentrated fructose without fiber, essentially pure sugar. Examples: 100 gram raisins, 59 g sugar, 100 gram dried mango, 66 g sugar. For the liver, dried fruit acts very similarly to soda. Fructose spikes rapidly and accumulates fat in the liver almost immediately. When nuts plus dried fruit plus chocolate are combined, trail mix becomes a blend of sugar plus fat plus minimal fiber, extremely likely to trigger fatty liver, belly fat, and insulin resistance. Safer alternatives: choose sashimi instead of sushi rolls. No rice, no sugar, high protein and omega-3, low-carb sushi options. Cucumber rolls, rice-free rolls, Fish plus avocado rolls without sauces. Choose whole nuts, almonds, walnuts, macadamias, unsalted pistachios. Choose fresh fruit instead of dried fruit. Keeps the fiber. Fructose absorbs slowly, prevents liver overload. Sushi rolls, rice plus sugar, vinegar, sauces, blood sugar spike, liver fat. Trail mix, dried fruit equals concentrated fructose, liver damage. Swap, sashimi, low rice sushi, whole nuts, fresh fruit. Looking back, what truly overloads the liver? The problem isn't the foods themselves. It's the added sugar and concentrated fructose introduced during processing. Flavored yogurt, granola, fruit juice, sweetened plant milk, and sushi rolls all contain 13 to 23 g of sugar per serving, mostly fructose, the type of sugar the liver must process entirely on its own, converting it to fat very rapidly. This explains why many people eat healthy, yet their fatty liver never improves. The key message: you don't need to eliminate your favorite foods, you just need the right version. Plain yogurt, homemade sugar-free granola, whole fruits instead of juice, unsweetened plant milk, sashimi instead of sushi rolls. Research shows that when added sugar is reduced, the liver can begin to recover in just 8 weeks. If you want to learn which foods help the liver heal fastest and how to incorporate them into your daily meals, continue to the next section.